Hey everyone, it's your buddy next door, Mason Stewart, and I am so glad to be back in my booth talking with you guys. It's been quite a long journey. Excuse me. That's part of the journey. We'll get into that in just a second. But it's been a while. I've given a few updates. As many of you know, I was in Florida on a vacation with my wife and her family, my extended family that way. So it was a good time. And we'll get into that because that kind of jumps into our 2-week recap. We're doing another 2-week recap. I promise I'm going to be more on top of things. Things are definitely going to calm down in my life. I shouldn't necessarily have anything crazy going on, barring any emergencies, like we had in the last update with my wife's back. Anyways, let's start at the beginning. So, went to DisneyWorld. First time I had been in Florida, and let me say, previously having gone to like Boston and different areas like that, where it wasn't as hot as some of the southern states, I learned that I really liked humidity. I liked being able to feel that I was breathing, different things like that. As soon as we got off the plane, it was like midnight when we get off the plane in Florida, right? Absolute brick wall of air. I was not prepared, and immediately everything that I thought I knew about humidity was gone. Over the course of the week, I absolutely hated it. It was miserable, and I wanted to come back to my beautiful, beautiful dry heat that is the Utah weather. Like, give me all of that dry heat. That's what I want 100% of the time, so I'm very glad to be back. Disney World was a really cool experience. I didn't do a lot of vacations growing up for various reasons. I was fine with that. I'm not a big vacation guy myself. I like to do like staycations or do things like really close to home, like really short. I don't like doing these long extended things. It's very outside of my nature and what I like to do. But Disney World was really interesting. My in-laws packed as much as they could into like our 7-day trip there. So we went to. So the first day, let me think, and I will have pictures up as well. If you want to take a look at the blog, if you're listening to the podcast, make sure you go check out the blog, or you're watching the video on YouTube, and you'll be able to see pictures there. But day one, we started in Hollywood Studios because if any of you don't know, the way that Disney World, the way that Disney World is broken out is they have all these different parks that are spread out around the Orlando, Kissimmee area of Florida. And so it's not where you just go to one park and then you can kind of just choose where to go. You have to like dedicate, like, this is where we're going today for the most part. So that's what we did. So first day, Hollywood Studios, that was pretty fun. Tower of Terror, anything, Hollywood-esque that you would want. The second day, we actually jumped over to Universal, to their Island of Adventure, where I found my favorite ride of the entire week, which was the Velocicoaster. It was amazing. I'm definitely a roller coaster guy. I love the thrills and everything that's happening with it, flying up and down, going upside down, just being like feeling like there's this little lap bars, the only thing holding me in. Oh, absolutely fantastic, let me tell you. So that was great. Then the third day, we did, I believe that's when we did Epcot. Yeah, we did Epcot on the third day, and that was really fun. Very much enjoyed Epcot. Got to ride the new Guardians of the Galaxy ride, which was super fun as well. Also a top ride of the week, but also really cool to kind of go and see the different cultures and to be able to eat some of the food from the different cultures as well, see some of the performances, different things like that. The fourth day was supposed to be a beach day, but there was a tropical depression that came in, caused a bunch of riptides in the ocean, so we decided it was probably best that we don't go to the beach that day, and so we just went to the pool at the little resort that we were staying at. That was a ton of fun. Able to meet up with some of my my father-in-law's brother lives in Florida, so we hung out, had like a barbecue with them, had some really good brisket. It was a good time. A nice day to rest the feet, because let me tell you, every single day waiting in line, walking, a couple of miles every day, it gets on your feet. It definitely hurts. My wife had it the worst. She had blisters. It was not a good time. Anyways, so jumping into the fourth day, the fourth park that we decided to hit was Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom was pretty cool. We did a safari, saw some animals. That was a good time. They had Avatar, like the Blue People Avatar. I'm not talking about Avatar The Last Airbender, but Blue People Avatar. They had a couple of rides from them. That was kind of cool to see. They had one that was a really cool experience. You essentially got into like a bike, like if you think of like a stationary bike that you're pedaling. And then it became like a 3D experience, and that bike was kind of like what was guiding you through that 3D experience. It was pretty cool, enjoyable. I did learn on the trip that I do enjoy roller coasters a whole lot more than the 3D experience rides. I know a lot of people really enjoy those, but to me, like, you do get the sensations of like, oh, I'm falling, oh, I'm going down this like big like drop, like down this canyon that you honestly couldn't get in like a roller coaster, and I get that. But I don't know if it's just that I am so into roller coasters and I love the feeling that my body gets when I'm like being hurtled, 70 miles an hour down this loop, down a giant drop that I just don't get from those 3D ones. And so they weren't necessarily my favorite, but they weren't horrible either. Backing up, actually, first Universal Studios day, also, they have a Harry Potter land in that first one, and they had a Hagrid ride, and the Hagrid ride was fantastic. Super, super good. Got to hang out in Hogsmeade, and then later on in our second, which I'll get to, which is the next day, actually. So the next day we ended up going to Universal Studios, the actual Universal Studios park. And they had a Diagon Alley there, so that was really cool to see all that Harry Potter stuff. I'm not super huge into it, but it was really fun to see. Got to take a couple of Harry Potter rides. Again, they kind of, Universal and Disney, it seems that these parks are tending to go towards these 3D kind of experience rides more than these roller coasters, which is fine. There were people in our group that loved them, like a lot, and that's fantastic. And I think they should be available like that. But please, Disney, Universal, if somehow someone from those companies is listening to this podcast, watching this video somehow, if somebody else listening knows somebody that is there, please get this to them. Please, Disney, Universal, don't stop making roller coasters. Roller coasters are where it's at. Please, make more. Make more. And I also found that's kind of why I really like going to Lagoon, which is a theme park. I guess it's more of an amusement park, isn't it? Because it's not really a theme. An amusement park here in Utah, and I absolutely love it. I love all the roller coasters and stuff, so I'm excited to be able to go back there again soon. Anyway, so we did Universal. That was pretty fun. And then the last day, we hit Magic Kingdom, which is pretty much the Disneyland portion of Disney World, which was a really great time. A lot of walking, like I said. Yeah, so I think the most stressful part of the entire trip actually came on the journey home. So we're getting ready to board. We're about like 10 minutes away from like the boarding process starting to get on our plane. We did have a layover scheduled in Atlanta, so it was going to be going from Florida to Atlanta, right? And then big thunderstorm hits. And if there's thunder within 5 miles of the airport, everything gets shut down. No planes are going anywhere. So we get delayed for about an hour, and the storms kind of recede, thank goodness. So we're able to get on the plane, and we get to Atlanta. And our window wasn't very long. I think we had about an hour and 30 minutes. So we land, we go, we hurry, we get food, we hit the bathroom, do all the things you need to do to get ready for our 4-hour flight from Atlanta back to Salt Lake. We scarf down our food because, you don't want to be that person that's got all that, stinky food on the plane. So we pound the food down, get everything done. We're sitting there, and all of a sudden, a big announcement comes on and is like, oh, the flight to Salt Lake City, we're waiting on a flight attendant. For whatever reason, they were short a flight attendant, or some part of the crew was not available. And so they had to wait until somebody that was available to come. And they were flying in from somewhere else, so they were on a plane somewhere else. So we got delayed for legitimately like 3 hours. Well, okay, like another 2.5 hours is more like what it was. And it was a long, long time. And so that means that we flew in, we landed in Salt Lake City at like midnight. Thankfully, I took off Thursday and Friday as well. So we finally make it home. We do everything. Thursday comes around, sleep in, get grocery shopping done for the week and everything. All is well. Excuse me. This cough is going to come into play here in a second. So, wake up Friday morning after doing everything right, and I just have a crazy sore throat. I mean, like, really bad. Really bad. And I'm like, oh no. This is it. This is the moment. I escaped for 2 years, not catching COVID. This has got to be it. Melissa was my wife was still very much asleep, so we have some home COVID tests. So I went and took it, and I got a negative reading, and I was like, oh, okay, it's not COVID. That's good. Well, then a couple hours later, my wife wakes up, and she is just coughing up a lung, super, super bad. So I'm like, you know what? Go ahead and take this COVID test. I'm going to take mine again, see if, like, it was a false negative or something. So we both take it. Boom. Instant, like, huge, can't miss it. You have COVID. So currently recovering right now. I'm feeling a lot better. My wife is still having a lot of coughing going on. So it is going to be a little bit short, but on this video today, going to end it up here pretty quickly. Like I said, I'll have some pictures and stuff about the rides and just, of the fun times that we had there. But that's pretty much how my 2 weeks went. I'm excited to jump back in and just kind of go full swing for the rest of the year at voiceover and for this content stuff. So I hope you guys are doing well and are along for the ride, and it should be a great time. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks so much, neighbors. See ya.